Okay. Bum, 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 I forgot to log in. Oopsie. Alright, we're waiting for people to show. We'll get started. Little chill xylophone action for you while you wait. Especially if you like Pokemon music. I think this is Verbank City from Black and White 2. Alright. Or is it Black and White 1? Nope, it's 2. Let's go. Alright. I just want to log in. I guess I could start by looking at the patch, do a streamer check to see if, like, the game is worth. What's up, King? Ready for the utility class? You're late? No worries. No, there's no, like, I'm not holding anyone accountable. I usually give people, like, 5 minutes to, like, do what they gotta do, you know, get in here, and then I start. Of course, these VODs always go on YouTube, on the Briggy VOD channel. I could link it. I'm just, if I don't think about it, I won't do it, so I'll have to think about it by the end of this. But first thing, I'll analyze the patch. We'll see what Riot's cooking. I can talk about the new agent, but it's a little wacky. This new guy is. So let's see. I mean, New Year's, first set of patch. Perfect. Say hi, Kenny. How's it going? Love this guy. Anyone knows where I can get those glasses? I actually don't know where you can get these, like, tanned glasses. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry, Kenny. Anyway, Fracture and Lotus are back. The new Flex cosmetic is added. Automatic remake voting is crazy. What? I assume that's if somebody's AFK, you don't have to do it. And the esports hub is returning soon for the new VCTs. Fix a couple bugs. Let's go. All right. We'll no longer be using episodes. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so we're not gonna break it down anymore. So it was acts and then episodes, and there was 3 episodes within an act. I'm not gonna bother spelling. What's up, Angelic? How's it going? How's it going? Just going over the patch before we start our class. So it's just gonna be a whole season. It's just gonna be like on the calendar. They're gonna pick a day, January something. I assume that's January now to like December something, which will be like, then they have like their break. It's like this date, like this date. Makes sense to me. Wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Ranks will be resetting, but also reset again on upcoming mid-season. I assume mid-season means like June, July-ish? I assume they'll go over that. While you ignore homework? Not good. You're not allowed to ignore homework. As a matter of fact, I actually didn't get to ignore my homework. Although I forgot to bring my workbook home, so I can't do more. But I got to do enough today. Gameplay logic around ability effects themed as explosions have been updated. Okay, what that probably means is they're gonna make them more either stylized towards the agent, or what they're gonna do is they're going to make the radius easier to see. Yo, what's up, boy? How's it going? Not much. It's going through. This should affect instances where Showstopper fails to deal damage in situations where it clips into leveled geometry. Oh, this makes sense then, right? This makes sense. You guys might... A big prevalent meme is like, you see a raised rocket coming at you, and you're just like... And there's like a dude here. And dude doesn't die. He lives in like 120 or something. And you're like, what? Didn't this just hard connect into his midsection? What? So I assume they fixed that. Anyway. Tejo. I assume that's how you say it. Is Colombian. A staggered rollout. That's today. Hey, let's go. So, special delivery. Equipped a sticky grenade. Fired a lot. Yeah, I've seen this. I can react to the trailer, I guess. Nice W's. Wow, you guys are actually such good students. Here, I'll do us a favor. I'll review everything. First and foremost, this agent is ridiculously strong. Riot does have they have a tendency of doing this, where they will make an agent either too strong or too weak. Or what they'll do, and they do this for League of Legends as well, is they'll give them literally everything. Which is kind of annoying. Because this guy has drone, he has mollies, he has, if I recall correctly, something else. Oh yeah, he actually has, he has more grenades. So he has grenade, drone, and then he has like mollies. So he has stun grenade, stealth drone. Every part of this kit is really strong. I mean, the grenade is probably the weakest, but let's be real. If your weakest ability is a concussion stun like Neon, you're fine. You're so fine. The drone is probably the most freebie piece of utility you can ever throw, because it just does everything, man. It's KO, Sova, like, plus it actually has the sky dog pattern all into one ability. That's pretty insane. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be seeing play immediately once he's available. Armageddon is like a cool ability. I'm not gonna lie. It's sick. I don't think that it's like, it's not a game-changing ult. I still think you'll go for more. You'll go more like, if you were like, this is like pro play, for example. I think you would farm more breach ults, Sova ults, and KJ ults. Not even KJ. I think KJ just got indirectly nerfed by this agent. But like, you'll farm more like these two over like this. But I think it's high priority. It's definitely a higher priority than this. Anyway, so we changed Brim. Stim Beacon. Normal equips times are rare and reserved for abilities with higher counterplay needs. It's a light quality of life change for Brimstone. Equip time after casting adjusted from normal to fast. So this still doesn't fix Brimstone. I mean, it kind of does. So what Brimstone needs, because Brimstone suffers from I can kind of do everything right now, right? And so what makes Brimstone strong in their eyes is being able to do everything like good. And on maps like Bind, where his range isn't like all of his weaknesses aren't really prevalent, he just becomes really good because he kind of does everything you want him to do. Has a molly to slow people down. He has stim for team play, and then he also can control space. Like, that's the big thing, and his ultimate's good. However, how you fix Brim, annoyingly, is you have to buff the numbers. Like, that's it. Because I don't think you can realistically change any part of his kit, because he's meant for beginners, right? There's no like reason for him to change in a drastic way that would make him competitively viable, but from a design standpoint, Riot doesn't want that. And so he becomes strong when his numbers are strong. Is this enough? Not really. Getting more speed on your pullout on stim is cool. I mean, you could probably use it more, before you get into gunfights. Definitely better for the spray players, but I mean, people will probably see it's insane. Most people just use it to speed up their executes. But it's like, now you can probably think about using it for actual gunplay, because you like throw that down and you're already sliding, like you're literally wide peeking them, and then your gun's out already shooting them. Like, that's the only thing I see. All right, you will now have access to Flex Cosmetic Customation menu in Collections. Everyone have a default Flex stat com added to their inventory. You can equip the Flex by assigning them to your spray wheel, and from now on will be referred to the Expression wheel. A Flex Cosmetic. I'll have to see that. I'll have to launch the game after the lesson. Esports. The hub is back, baby. I get to do more esports reviews. Yum. So it has a snapshot of what we're doing. See where everyone landed. And then dive into the brackets for the kickoff starting in the 11th. That is this weekend. Am I doing anything the 11th? Because that's right around the corner. That is, in fact, this Saturday or Sunday. It is, in fact, this Saturday. Automatic remake. We saw this. In the AFK, the first round, a remake vote automatically starts and requires only a majority of votes for the players to pass. Okay, so this stops, like, the annoying duos. Like, he's coming back. No, he's coming back. I swear, he's coming back. He's just having PC issues. It's like, no, you already done fucked up. You messed up. No, incorrect. Wrong. Like, we already just gave up the most important round in the game, and you're just like, no, we can come back. We can come back, I swear. Yeah, like, already down 2-0. Like, thanks, dude. Anyway, so they just said, nice try. You're not going to be able to get away with that. Cool. So it only requires 3. You can't hold people hostage anymore. Unless, like, 2 people. If you're in a party of 3, but, like, higher elo, it won't matter. Lower elo, it will. Ping system. Show map pings and world cheat has been added to custom game modes to support labeling lineups in practice. Okay, I got you. So this is just a cheat you can enable, and like it just goes back to old Valorant. Sure, okay, whatever. Brim Tejo on Vine is gonna be annoying. Oh, annoying post plant. I'm not too worried about post plant. You're not getting out the door against Brim Tejo. They're not getting out the door against you. If you're good. If it's a mirror, you're not getting out of choke, which is annoying. But that's the bad part. Or if you do get out of choke, there's no follow-up and you're dead for sure, because they can isolate really well. But yeah, that would be insane. Like double ult combo, double molly lineup. It's just like, come on, can I play the game today, please? Or not? It's the same kind of nonsense like the Astra Viper post plant back in the day. That was actually unplayable. Anyway, map rotation. Starting with patch 10. Maps will rotate every act. Ooh, okay. How are we breaking down acts? They said they were breaking the actual... Wait. They removed them from deathmatch queues? I never noticed that. They must have changed that. We'll provide updates about which maps are rotating on a per act basis, announcing the next map pool shortly after the current act starts. I'm surprised they didn't actually take the CSGO route of just allowing you to play every map at any time competitively. But I kind of see the idea. It's like, no, you have to be good on every map. Nice try. You can't have favorites. Because then, like, rank distribution gets kind of weird, right? Comparatively. Premiere! Welcome to 25A1. Matches started on the 15th. If your team was in the Invite division, you did not finish the stage in the top 16, your team has been demoted. You'll see a new provisional division in the Premier HUD. Demoted teams seated into the zone they originally promoted from. Your team owner can change your team zone, and the team settings drop down anytime before your team plays a match. If your team cannot be placed into a zone, your team order will be prompted to select a zone. Okay. Anyway, what did they pick out? Ascent and Sunset? Yeah, I know why you like those two. They're good initiator maps. And then they're also really good for your... They're also good Clove and ISO map. But Fracture and Lotus coming back? Ooh, baby. We're about to see some rage quitters for sure. I love Fracture. I love how jank that map is. It's really poorly designed. But it's fun. It's fun to play, actually. So, is it really poorly designed? For pro play, it kind of is, but like... It's complicated. I mean, it's not that complicated. It just... No one's ready to play what that map needs you to do. No, you're not allowed to stay on sites. That's like the biggest thing on like the defender side. Like sometimes you can because, you know, rounds are weird. But like you should actually not be sitting on sites like ever because it's like impossible. There's a couple of like off angles that players will play, but it's like you're just winning gunfights. It's not a good fight. Okay, all platforms fixed a bug causing some abilities to display the wrong team color for observers. Yeah, that was happening a lot during Game Changers. Clove, not dead yet, failed to cast when pressing the last few frames of the activation window. Because, yeah, there was a safety... I know that programming error. That's like, you put like a safety feature, a safety lock, so you couldn't just like get it outside of the timing. Yeah. Defensive attack is defense, defensive attack? No. Whatever your teammates like cooking up in their lab, tell them to put the pot down because that is not true at all. Attacking means you need to like you do have to contest earlier space, don't get me wrong. Like you have to. There's no world where you don't take one of either B main, A main, like dish, or like gamer. What was it? Arcade? Yeah, no, those are the people who are like, they run it down and flank immediately and die to the lurker for free because it's like, okay, there's like a billion off angles. Sometimes it's good to push, but like, you can't just mindlessly push on that map. Oh, good, they don't know how to play Fracture because you should honestly die every time. Against a good team, like good players, if you're pushing, you're done. You're done for. But you do need early info in that map. For sure. Sky, guiding light flash duration was not scaling properly. What? Fixed a bug with guiding light hit confirm sound and Dio would not play when hitting Yoru's fake out cloud. Yeah, okay, we're just buffing Yoru. Makes sense. Shooting through Cypher Cage or Viper's Poison Cloud could cheat wall penetration if they were placed too closely to level geometry. What? Wait, what? How would you even know that? Who would do a lineup for Viper Cypher and just shoot through it? What? Okay. Phoenix, fix an issue where Blaze referenced a harbor projectile asset for a few flames. That's funny. Gonna be slightly all set. Oh, they fixed the offset issue. Yeah, J-Bro will be happy. Brimstone Sky Smoke dissipation effect. Nice. Fix an issue where specific flashbang projectiles would stick around for observers. Yeah, I didn't see that too often. Taking damage with regen shields would play a hit confirm sound regardless of player visibility. Wait, what? Wait, that was a thing? Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Wait, thank God they took that out. That's tragic. I mean, nobody's buying the shield, but like, hey, it's tragic when you do. Fix the bug where if you're ADS, weapons would occasionally exit and re-enter ADS without any input. I've never had this. I guess I don't ADS enough, but I've never had this happen. But hey, good on you. When custom aim cheats are enabled, the player changes agents after using the restart cheat engine. The expressions wheel where you find sprays and flex charges may appear blank. We're looking to fix this in coming patches. Oh, they don't know. Oh, this is known issues. They have no idea how to fix this. Okay, cool. Screw it up? No, it's very easy to screw up a game like that. Like, so... Because how, like, programming works is, like... I understand how, like, these issues come up is because they're putting more content, so there's more lines of code and data into this. And then eventually one of these arrows is like, you know? And, they don't catch it. because it's not intentional, and like most people wouldn't think to do some of this stuff, but then people will think and do some of the weirdest things, and they're like, oh, this value is not meant to equal this value, huh? And vice versa. Like, uh-oh. So I totally, with game development, if you want to look at a very funny like bug fix list, look at Dota 2, because there's two heroes in the game, Rubik and Morphling. And because these two interact with every single ability in the game because they can copy and steal them, this causes a lot of bugs if the developers have like even a second of oversight. it's because then the list goes like it's literally like a line like this. It's just absolute walls of text because they're like, we forgot to account for this when we made this new hero. Oh god, I'm sorry, please forgive us. Yeah, these heroes are broken, don't mind us, we'll fix it. It does take time. Yeah, it happens. It happens in Overwatch. I mean, it happens everywhere. Oh. Hold on. My shoulder's feeling some sort of way. Anyway, okay. Moving on from that. It's time for the utility class. Woo! Not off that. Woo! All right, so this is the basic utility class. I'm going to try to teach you all of utility in like maybe half an hour. And so let's just hop right into this and just like give an easy breakdown of how we can get better with utility. This is the question. I know I've been posing questions as like your reference point, but it's like, what does this utility do? Is the biggest thing you could ask yourself. Or what, a better question is like, what purpose does this utility serve? Both like in general and in like specific situations. Like, these are the big questions you ask yourself when we're talking utility. And since there's so many pieces of utility in the game, it can kind of get confusing. And this is why we do, like, agent, like, we try to limit our agent pool so that we don't have, like, our brain has time to connect the dots and pieces with utility and like how they're meant to function and how they're meant to do and like make them faster. And so because it's super dynamic, we have to be very receptive to like, because we have to be more objective when learning this skill than subjective, which, good lord, that lag. Because it's really hard to identify if a piece of utility it was thrown correctly or with the proper timing. Especially if you don't know how to play the game. And you're like new to VOD reviewing and stuff like that. And so first we'll like identify like different types of util. And so the first one I'm just gonna go over, and this is probably the easy, like not the like one of the easiest, but we're gonna talk about mollies. And we'll just pull a couple from our head. Say Aftershock, Incendiary, Metal, Mosh Pit. You kind of get the gist. Grab Net, they all look kind of like this. As you notice, there is an outlier. But these are typically categorized as mollies shortened for Molotov. From CSGO. It's easier to say. We didn't learn anything new from the CSGO players. But what we did learn is how to use it. And so what these are really good at is targeting like zones where there's a lot, like, which forces them out in the open. right? And so like mollies are really good in these like in these closed cubbies, behind like cover that only has one direction of peeking, right? If there's two directions like this one, like this spot mid, a molly placed here, they can just go to cover. And so it's not good. It's not a good molly spot. But let's say like there's a smoke mid and you throw like a molly as they're coming out of the smoke. This is good, right? Because it forces them to come this way, forces them to come this way. And this is like out in the open. This is also out in the open, exposed to two threats. It's great. These are what mollies are meant to do. They're also like, they're awesome. They can be a delay tool, a separation tool. I honestly don't think you should treat mollies as delay until like you face a good team that just 5-man hits, and then like your team's like too slow to rotate, then you molly and wait for them and reposition and do stuff like that. I personally think you should separate. And so what that looks like is somebody will do like a movement ability. You throw a molly, and then if the team comes out, they die. And if the team doesn't come out, well, you hopefully you kill this guy, or they get traded or whatever. And so like there's like basic like idea of either separation or like flushing out is what we want to use these abilities for. And so when we have these two definitions for us, what that allows us to do is now we can place, like we can ask ourselves, did this separate or did it flush people out, right? And so if you wanted to flush out backside, this molly would flush people out, right? Because this guy has to move out here to the open or over here. That's a flush ability. This one won't flush people out, but it's a separation tool, right? So if they come out, they have to come this way, or they have to come this way to get out of the molly. So then now we kind of use that as our idea, and it's very easy now to see like where the mollies go, right? Or it should. And then the other way you use mollies, and this is the most niche way, but it is a stopping tool. Because it deals damage, it's also a stopping tool. That is the smallest. And this is very prevalent on attack, where let's say you're planting the bomb, and someone's covering heaven, it's smoked off, people are watching it. But, like, this is smoked off, and they can peek out and kill the spike carrier, right? And that would be tragic. So what people tend to do to stop these flooding techniques or tactics is they'll throw a molly to get the plant down and then settle into a post plant and make them play like a coordinated retake. And so those are like the three ways you would view mollies as a piece of like utility. And how to identify whether or not it has purpose. Like, did it do any of those three things that we asked for? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then it's a bad molly. If the answer is yes, then it's a good molly. The next one on the list is drones. These abilities are a lot easier and a lot less plentiful than mollies are. So you have Owl Drone, Trailblazer, Boombot. You have things like the Prowler, Wingman. You know, these are like examples of drones. And so what drones do is they allow us to replace, essentially it allows us to take space while replacing our agent. In some cases, like, don't get me wrong, like these are drones, but like Wingman and the Boombot are different in a sense that you still control your agent, whereas these, with a slight exception of Fade, I'll put a little check mark on the bottom, these are taking your place as first contact. And so what these are meant to do is to clear dangerous space for you. And so this is what happens when you need utility, or you need to take like any sort of meaningful space, but you don't want to throw bodies at them, right? Because if all you do on attack is you just full man run out B, no util, you're just going to get mowed down by this player, this player, this player, this player, right? And that's really bad. And so what we would do is we'd use drones to clear like excessive space. Open space, this is more like a recon step, but like it's more akin to the line of like tower, vents, like sewer, places with like close levels of control that need to clear out, plus a lot of potential playable angles lead to a drone being used. A very common example is on attack mid on split, Skies will stand like in this position. Bada bing. They'll dog and they'll clear out close positions to get information and establish control of areas with players. Like it's to get players into different positions. If it gets shot, then whatever, unfortunate. But we want to use it as like a body that you're willing to trade. Of course, the higher you go, the more nuanced droning becomes. Sometimes you have to wait for the drone because it's an info drone. Other times it's the go button. Sometimes it isn't any of those things. And sometimes it's just a drone on a default where you're trying to like try to take space. It's a space taker as well. And so these are like traditionally for initiators, but of course Raze has one too. But these initiators, it's usually their second line of information gathering. And because it's their second line of info, it's very, very hard to commit very early into what we want to use this drone for. But an easy way to like assess whether or not you want to use a drone from either of these players' kits or to use their info gathering ability is how much info can you gather. So for example, let's say we're playing Sova on split. I know we're using split a lot. I'm just here. And we're playing Sova on split. We're kind of already shooting ourselves in the foot here. Let's say we were. So the dart scans more area. Like, right? That makes sense to me. Should make sense to you. And so like darts that can like tag multiple positions are really good. Like out in the open, a dart is perfect. Which is why Sova is kind of bad on this map, because there isn't really a whole lot of open areas that players want to play in. Of course, if you're like really good and you can place your darts in specific like areas that like cover like likely threats while also being like hard to shoot, then that's a bonus, but most people don't know those. And so in these situations, you'd rather drone. Because like there's not a very good amount of darts mid that would help. Like you take tower, take vents. There's not really good darts for these either, because like they can just duck box, they can duck stairs, they can duck tower or rope or be here. Because of that, because there's so many places and angles to hide in, it's really bad to use the dart, when instead we'd use our drone and like slowly work and clear all these threats. Okay, that is drones. Next one, a big one, flashes. Now, a lot of people actually don't know how to throw good flashes. I'm not gonna lie to you, because people don't understand what's known as flash zones. It's a very flash unique topic, but the idea is if you like hit somebody with one of these flash abilities, just pull a couple out, like flashpoint, where's my boy Phoenix, curveball. Blinds are different, so I'm not gonna go crazy. Arc rose, guiding light. Yes, we are. What's up, Raven? We are learning utility. How's it going? Howdy, howdy. But because we're learning, because we're talking flashes, I can't believe I deleted it. Nice, good work. In order to have like impact with flashes, we want to be able to catch the enemy in an area where if they're flashed, there's no cover. And so what we do is we try to look for flash zones. And so a couple of flash zones are like right here, right here, right here, right here. And you kind of see the pattern where these areas have little to no cover. It's hard to get away, and so if like somebody comes out with a flash and they're flashed, they should be unable to like take you out, right? And of course what you do with flashes on the other side of things on attack is kind of the same idea. You want to flash people in areas where like you want to take space and exude pressure, right? So if you flash somebody like in a position where they like out in the open on defense, which of course not great, right? Like if this guy's B back and there's a breach flash that comes behind this box, this dude is dead if there's like any sort of follow-up, unless they turn it, right? Of course people can turn flashes. That's just one of the counter plays that has to be on your screen. And so if you turn the flash, oh well, they're just better than you. You can go cry in the shower later tonight. But you'll notice that like all these positions, there's just so much open space that you really don't want to be flashed, because when you're flashed, consider yourself dead unless you have crazy movement or they just can't shoot. And you don't want to be praying for like your enemy to whiff. Like I don't want to play Hope Valorant. That's really bad. So that's essentially how we like identify flashes, is like when I flash somebody in this position, do I kill them? Can't play good trio 5-stack. What's the skill gap? That's a lot of people. That's the first question, but I'll get back to you on that one. I'm still continuing. If they can't see, if I can't see them, they can't see me. Yeah, the kamikaze flash. I'm going to flash at any point. And I won't hit you, and you won't hit me, and then we'll both be on the other side of the map by the time it's over. Easy. Anyway, in contrast to flashes, we have what's known as blind. Now, these function differently. Let me find a couple of blinds. Technically, Prowler is a blind, but not quite. I'm honestly gonna more consider, like, Omen Paranoia, Reyna Lear. Is there any other flash in the game? Or blind in the game, rather. Excuse me. No, 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 no. Really? There's only 3? It's not big at all. Eh? Probably a more relaxed atmosphere then. You might get too relaxed. That'd be my armchair like psychology breakdown, but like it can be a myriad of things if you don't do well in groups comparatively to like solo duo. I don't know. Depends. But anyway, blinds don't have to be on your screen in order to effectively blind the enemy. And so because the enemy doesn't have to look at the blind, they can be looking here, and Omen blind comes over here like a secret surprise, and now they can't see ramps. So blinds work functionally differently, and all these are like very unique blinds, don't get me wrong. Very unique to flashes, whereas you actually want them to be farther away because they add a nearsighted debuff. Anyone who's played Minecraft or has ever been like cursed to be like nearsighted knows how much of a disadvantage this is in like gunfights or in life in general. So how we evaluate this is kind of the same way we evaluate flashes, but we can be a lot more like, we still want them to be in flash zones. Don't get me wrong. The actual like mechanics behind this doesn't change, but we still like, it allows us to pair with movement utility, which is really great. I love to see that. It's actually huge. It depends. Like this one, definitely. This one, kind of. This one, kind of. And so we still want them to be in these like flash zones where they have to like answer this and get out, or they die. And so if you throw a flash that they can just run to cover and there's no follow-up, bad flash. Whereas, like, it's a good flash if they have no cover and you can peek out and kill afterwards. I think it's pressure. Are you getting peer pressured? Are they bullying you? Sorry, so I need to. It's been my dream to say. sorry. But if there's like unwarranted pressure, it's literally the opposite of what I diagnosed with. You're either too relaxed or too pressured, and it's just like, if I'm too pressured, deep breath, relax, ain't no big deal. Just gaming with the boys or girls. I'm gaming with the gang. Gaming with the gang. Anyway, on our next list is a fun one. We're gonna talk about smokes. And I know I'm going in like some sort of order that makes no sense, but hear me out. This is possibly the simplest and most convoluted piece of utility that I've ever had the displeasure of working with. Because in essence, smokes are a neutral ability. Because it doesn't deal damage. It doesn't stun. It merely just blocks vision. That's it. Is a sun inman. But because this is the only thing it does, and it does it to both teams. It isn't like, oh, one team can see through, the other team can't. No, it's both teams can't see through this. It's like we're both blind. And because it's a neutral ability, there's a lot of like hidden like tech that you need to know to make a smoke good. Generally what you will see teams do is they will smoke, will start on attack, it makes sense to me, is they'll just smoke off key areas of the map that allow them to remove potential threats that could arise. This is to stop like rotators, to stop floods, to do all that kind of sort of stuff. But like, these abilities are not stop signs, mind you. These won't, by themselves, will not always stop an enemy. In low elo, yes, this is definitely a stoplight to a lot of players. Like, people actually do see it as this. And that's no good. This is like a bad model to like view smokes for, because these are super easy to just run out. And so, because it's a neutral ability, there's a ton of other placements that have hidden impact depending on how you throw it and for which team you're throwing it for. Because of that, it's really hard to really understand what's a good and what's a bad smoke. Because if our previous annotation akin to mollies, because mollies, what they do is they flush or they separate. Like, these are what these abilities do super well. Like, if you're not flushing the enemy out or you're not separating the enemy, then this does nothing. But because smokes work in sort of a similar way, or people have this similar connotation for it, they lack the value that they could be getting. So, how do we view smokes? How do we view this ability, and how do we get value from this? Well, we want to isolate threats. That's the idea that controllers have. And it's or let's go isolation. ISO is a better note to have. So we want to be able to isolate threats and make it hard for them to like come out and trade when we have people here. We look this way. We'll just get rid of you for now. And it makes it awkward for this because this guy wants to come out and help or spray down, but it's a bad spray. That's like a game, like a gunplay thing. I can explain that in a later topic video, why that's not good. I've fallen for it a couple of times. But that's essentially it. We want to isolate threats and clear them one at a time. That's why on this map, the most common smoke pattern you'll see in high-level elo play, especially towards mid, is they'll smoke off male. An enemy team will smoke off mid, and they'll try to take vents. This is like the split playbook, because this is really strong to control and fight for, and it's really good to isolate this, because it's actually kind of hard to come out. The only way you have to be a little bit wary is that this is a flash zone, and so they can flash out of your smoke and come kill you. Zekin, Fracture, and Lotus. Oh, you're playing the new map without doing your homework. This guy didn't watch VODs before he played. Oopsie. I'll give you the sauce. A lot of it's kind of tough. They didn't make any changes, so it's like the maps themselves are like, you honestly can pull up like a 7th month. Well, Fracture, it's actually been like 2 years. You can pull up like a 2-year-old VOD. I personally wouldn't, because he's gotten significantly better since then. But nice. I love being at the bottom of the leaderboard. Oh man. Alright. That's tough. That is tough though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't worry about score placement. I can talk about like mentality at some point, but I really don't care where I like place on the frag list. Impact is not measured through kills alone. It is measured a bit through kills, but not alone. There's more things that go into impact. And like if you're having impact in the game, that's all you can ask for. So we move on to our next ability, which are walls, i.e. barrier mesh and sage wall. You know, I thought something was a little off. No worries. Get over here. And so these pieces of utility are very simple in design, where they just are meant to shut off parts of the map. That is the entire purpose of these pieces of utility. They're very straightforward. That's why they're like super easy to use. Like Sage Wall is super easy to use, as long as you place it correctly. Like most people will place this mid wall. I think the mid wall is trash. There are better. Like for example, like this wall is like super insane, or this wall is also super insane. It just causes more threat than it helps, you know. So like these are good. This is like you just get your wall broken for free. This is good if like you know that they're not playing mid and like they might have like a lurker, but you want to play fast rotate. That's when this wall is good, but it's not good if they're all just like 3 starting mid and they break your wall. Especially at the start of the round. But that's pretty much it. No, it's super simple. Like, you don't want them to take space, use a wall. Yeah, there's agents that can get over it, but like, you have to account for that on your own. Comparatively to like, a more nuanced ability. Which, of course, we won't be talking about, because I'm not talking about nuanced abilities right now. Moving on to a bit like... Moving on to turrets, which is a misleading term. The all-encompassing term is flank watch. And as you might have guessed, with flank watch, they're meant to do one thing. And one thing only. Yeah, there's a chamber trip. I'm there's a lot of them, I'm sure. Hold on. Yeah, there's like trademark. And now technically Sheer is technically a flank watch trip. It's different. It's like it works between a wall and flank trip. So you kind of have to consider this ability both, which is really annoying. Anyway, so with flank watch, you'll notice that they're meant to do one thing, and it's to maintain information across the map. And so it literally functions the same way, both on attack, both on defense. You want to hold garage space, there's a turret, or there's a trip for it. You want to hold a main, there's a trip for that. There's a turret here. Hey, there's a turret here. Hey, I'm walking here. Of course, alarm bot also works in this situation too, but that's pretty much it. You're trying to gather information on where like lurkers could be coming from. You want to, it just allows you to maintain map control with minimal investment. That's what flank watch abilities do. Also Cypher Cam and stuff like that. Pretty simple, pretty basic. I think moving on to, I believe, not the last one, but we're getting there. Recon abilities. Now, in essence, recon abilities are meant to do one thing and one thing only. They're meant to get... They are meant to give you information. Flash on jet, should I smoke myself up or updraft? Depends on the situation. If you're in a closed and tight space, like right here in A main, updraft, because you need to create like verticality and be hard to hit for your teammates. But if you're out in the open, you want to smoke yourself. And move frantically. And try not to die. Gecko Flash? Gecko Flash? Dizzy does both, right? It gathers information. That's also a flash. Kind of the same idea for Sky Flashes. Where it kind of does both, but not as strong as like recons, like hard recon is what I would call it. Because these are more like soft recon. Like, these tell you that players are there. It doesn't tell you who, it doesn't tell you what. Whereas, like, these abilities are hard recon. They will tell you what agent, who's there, what are they doing, how many. They're here. We will, they're here. That's what, like, hard recon will do. Oh, yeah, Tejo got released today, I think. They're out. Easy. The new agent. Oh, yeah, new agent does it too, right? Yeah. But yeah, so basically that's what hard recon should be, like, done. It's like, hard recon lets you know their, like, name, age, and then proof of insurance. Like, that's, you get all of that with hard recon. Plus, it's kind of crazy that the new agent has hard recon as a log point, like a long point support initiator. I think that's really silly. That agent's really strong, by the way. If you haven't checked out the patch notes and seen the abilities, that agent is strong. It is not the most busted agent in the game, but it is strong. Anywho, that's pretty much what hard recon is meant to do. You want to gather information. Whether that is like on hits, when you're trying to just scout, when you're trying to do such and such and such and such, like fight for space. It just gives such an advantage to be able to see them in their like glory. Like, this dude is out here scrolling on like TikTok, and you catch him with a dart, and it's like, oh, he dies for free. And so these abilities are usually really strong or limited to a factor. That's kind of hard to like. Or they have some sort of secondary effect too, which is kind of nuts. Like, these abilities are strong, and so you have to be very mindful when you use them. And so like how the purpose of this and how to get value off of it is like, do we need early information? Yes, we throw them out. Do we not need early information? No, we're chilling. Is the enemy team slow? We can hold our utility. Are they fast? We should probably throw our utility. Does it look fun to play? Absolutely. No, definitely. It's super rewarding to play the new agent. Should you get the chance to? One thing only. I think I meant. Did I not mention they have secondary effects typically? I think I did. Maybe I did. But yeah, they all have secondary effects. Like these three in particular, these are the big three. Not only do they give you hard recon, but they also do secondary stuff. This gives you trails. This allows you to see through walls as well. That isn't actually the unique. This one actually scans a lot of times, like twice. And then this one suppresses you. Makes you like watch like a Pokken tournament. But that's like those pieces of utility. No worries, no worries. And then our last couple of abilities. We have stuns. Yippee! New agent has one too. Don't get surprised. We'll just throw out the more common ones. Neon stun. Was this the relay bolt? ISO's weird. I'll have to talk about ISO at some point. Oh yeah, I will have to talk about ISO at some point because he's weird. Because everyone else fits it nice into this, like... you're not a stun. Everyone else fits nice into my graph, but not this agent. I see. No worries. I did say that. And then, like, they all have secondary effects, which is cool. Alright. Stuns. We love them. You should treat concusses like you would treat a molly. The only difference is you have to be able to capitalize off the stun. And so, fortunately, these are both actually very throwable pieces of utility to either... They either have, like, kits that allow them to gap close, in the case of Neon, or they're designed to assist from afar, like Breach. And so, we kind of have the same ideas, where we kind of want to be stunning in the open, like, out of chokes, where there's not a whole lot of cover. And as they're coming out, we just fry them. Because it does two things, right? It won't flush, because it doesn't deal damage. But what it does is a good separation tool. And it's a punish tool. If you play like a position where you can get stunned and you have like no cover, you die. You should die. There is the cosmetic stun meme. I'm very well aware of the cosmetic stun meme. However, most of the time, you should die when you are stunned. Typically. Not always. Not always. But typically. But that's pretty much it. Like, did I punish the enemy for being in a position and I stunned them and they died? Or did I separate them from the team? That's how you, like, ask to see if this utility is good. Or, like, if the stun was good or not. So, we come across the last bit of util. And it is movement abilities. And as you might understand by my tone, when I talk about movement abilities, that I love movement abilities. And I think it's great for the game that they made these in the first place. It's so fun, in fact, that we have not one, not two, not three, but 4 agents meant to counter them entirely. Chambers, yeah, Chambers was free. Anyway. Can you get first shot off while stunned? I think they changed that to yeah. I think so. Yes. Tentatively, I will say tentatively. I'll have to try all that. Jettle is always accurate because it ignores the movement debuff or the movement check. So anything that impacts that doesn't impact Jet Knives. Which I think is good for the character. I'm actually down. If Jet Knives started whipping around after being stunned, that would be awful. It would make sense because you're getting concussed. Like, you have a concussion. This should not go straight, but like, for the agent's sake, please do. But anyway, so movement abilities do a lot. I'm talking a lot. They're some of the most universal and like dynamic pieces of like utility in the game. Because moving fast, believe it or not, is really good. Like, moving fast is pretty gnarly, some may say. And because moving fast is good, there's so many situations where they're so good, where it allows you to like catch up in space. It allows you to rotate faster. It allows you to dodge pieces of utility, like other pieces of utility. It allows you to like, it's a gap closer. It's a dodger. You're allowed to like get up. It's a reposition tool, a super quick reposition tool that a lot of agents don't have. It's an explosive tool. There's a lot. I can gush about utility, this movement utility all in all, but in essence, you want to, and because each movement piece of utility is different, it's kind of hard to give like the ability to see that is just, it's kind of hard to give you a general, like, because what we were talking about is purpose. And then we're looking like what's like the quality of it and how we get value from it, right? And movement utility, it's kind of hard to get intrinsic value because, again, like a Molly, it doesn't deal damage directly, right? Indirectly, this stuff kills. This is like, these are some of the strongest abilities for killing people. Bar guns. I'm telling you, this is second only to guns. So like, what actually leads to the death? And so like, giving yourself purpose, it's very agent dependent. For example, Jet on defense would like to op, tag a bullet, drop somebody, and then dash away without them allowing him to clear you. That's like one of the big things. Raze would rather blast pack at your opponent, do some crazy play, and then like it's more committal. And where Neon is more sustained, like you want to be like rotating a lot, like being active on defense, contesting early space, and then being like, see you later, suckers, I'm B now. Same kind of idea on attack, where it's like you go through and then it's just like, oh, there's just a Neon in our spawn like 12 seconds in, huh? Okay, this is fun to play against. And so like giving yourself purpose is more along the lines of like positioning and a rotation thing. So like that's how you kind of get use out of these pieces of utility. They're kind of hard to identify on its merits alone, and because it requires different factors to get good at. Like you have to be good at these in order to get good with these. It's like very linked. And that covers our introduction to utility. Satchels can kill too. Yeah, but like, that's not why we use them. They used to kill. I will say, they used to kill. Nice solid, what, 60, 80 damage? Those are killers back in the day. Deho looks frustrating. Yes, you bet your sweet Biffy it is. It's really strong and really easy to play, which means its skill ceiling is low. Like, it's low. Like a low skill floor. And an honestly low skill ceiling. But think of, okay, I'm actually gonna make a couple graphs for you to show you how actually like annoying this agent's gonna be. They're gonna be bar graphs. And so this is skill variance This is risk. And this is value. And so what an agent should be is it should have a, like, it doesn't have to have this, like, bare minimum skill floor to enter, like a bar of entry. Like, not every agent needs that. And honestly, I don't think there's an agent in the game that has that bar of entry. Most agents are pretty plug and play, where you can kind of learn very quickly. What's up? What's up, Pingy? But what this looks like, this agent in particular looks like, compared to other agents in, like, the same category, is that it has very low, like, assume this, they're between 1 and 2 is how we're gonna do it. So 1 is every other agent in the category, 2 is Trejo. I should have a key, but I'm too lazy. And what these look like is the skill variance. I'll start with most agents. Usually lands, like, right here. Trejo kind of peters right here. A little lower, so, like, to get to the highest level of skill variance, you do, like, it takes less work, in my opinion. I haven't seen too much of the game yet of him playing. This is just my initial impression. I think this is going to be a problem. This is, like, the normal amount of work you have to do and normal risk to get value. This is, like, the normal amount you should incur. And I think that this agent is going to have this level of risk, like a very low risk. But then, because we incur risk and because we have good, like, skill variance and high skill variance, what this looks like is, like, there should expectedly be high value, right? When we're playing at our best, when we're taking risk, we should incur the most reward, right? Well, what I think is going to happen with Tejo is that you're going to get more value with less skill variance, less risk, and you get more than every other agent gives right now. And I think that that'll be very unhealthy for the game, because he's just going to kick out a bunch of initiators. I know some people have been pairing Breach with Tejo yet, like Tejo in, like, beta streams, but honestly, like, if your name is not, like, a recon initiator, honestly, Naughty, I think he just kicked out every recon initiator in the game. And, like, I think KO will not see play anymore if this character is as good as it is right now. Fade might, Sova might, but Tejo for sure more play than them. In terms of, like, the secondary support, you might see more support initiators like Breach and Gecko paired with this individual. In the highest level play, in ranked, it doesn't matter. Everyone picks whatever they want to pick anyway. I'm still playing controller. I don't care. I'm not going to have fun with this new agent. Yeah, which is why a lot of, like, teams are pairing it with the Flash, because it does literally everything else. And so like, what teams are starting to do, because they reckon this is something, I'll go into a separate tangent about, like, team building. I want to make another, like, whole thing for this. And so off in a separate tangent, we'll pick, like, a funny map. And so what teams have been doing is teams have been slotting in Yoru for team building purposes, because it has movement plus flash, which opens up your team planner as a duelist, by the way. Like, as a duelist, this opens up so many more, like, variants and, like, pick. And allows you to play more comps. And what this is going to spawn, I think, is you're going to see a lot of Yoru plus Tejo. Because they both do the same thing. Where they have kits that cover, like, what you want in a team builder, that they just have so much to offer. And when like an agent has so much to offer and you can do so much more, you can slot in these weirder picks like ISO. I mean, we've already seen teams do it with ISO. You'll still probably need a controller. Of course, don't get me wrong. I think you'll need this and then a controller. And then in all honesty, your game plan is set. Obviously map-based, like I think Tejo will struggle on like maps like Haven. Struggle is a safe word I'm going to use here, but it compared to like some of the other maps, I think Haven and Lotus will be kind of tough for Tejo to find his footing. Depending on how like his utility interacts with the map. And how people want to play it. I think it's like you should honestly just insta-lock that, but hey, that's me. So, and because like this is your team builder slot, where now you can kind of consider like going no scent. You can go like your initiator's got you covered with a lot of stuff. Like you don't actually need to go another sentinel. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can go another recon initiator. You want to add a recon, you can go like flash initiator. Like you can go double more flash. You can have more. Like, you can start running weird comps with these two as, like, a comp core. Because what an old core would look like, how you would approach team building in a professional... I'm going to leak some of my sauce. Is when we approach team building, we learned that specialization is not good, actually. We learned this through trial and error. But what it turns out is that if your comp is really good at doing something... i.e., let's say like you're really good at having a bunch of mollies. Let me find you. And a bunch of flashes. I.e., a comp like this that we saw trialed a lot. It doesn't work. Because there's so many weaknesses that you can exploit in this comp. Like at the highest level when you're like theorizing it. Because, wow, yeah, this post plant looks insane. This, like this defense honestly looks insane. On paper, you would be 100% correct, right? Like, post plant and defense is where this would, like, soar, you know? But what we found is that this team actually... because it lacks in like information, it's a big one it lacks, and that's not good at all. When you lack in info, you are the easiest team to run over at the highest level, because now you have to make guess-based decision, and that's not great. Or you have to take more aggressive looks. And that makes you like your comp easier to kite or easier to fight into. Like, both of these decisions are bad for the defenders, because now, like, oh, we have to contest space. Well, now we just use 2 flashes and a blind to contest space. They just gave it up, and they're willing to just go to the other side. And now we have no information now, because like now it's kind of like, okay, they could be anywhere on the map. Now we have to like settle into better positions, but now they could be anywhere. We have to go back. Maybe they just rehit. It's a mess. And so what we learned is having you like an overall all-around comp is what works. Like a comp that can do everything. And wouldn't you know it, agents that enable this sort of like team building are agents like Yoru and agents like Tejo. And so we're going to have a lot of these, like, I think that this will eventually become a common core where you run something similar to both of these agents at the same time. And then you just fill around it, depending on the map, of course. Like, this combo with Brimstone, Fade, Cypher, we'll say Cypher, as your backup options on Bind would be sick. It would be really powerful. There's a lot of stopping power, a lot of information. You got drones, flashes, movement ability, you have gap close. There's so much that goes into this that is just like, oh my lord, this would be so hard to stuff. And then there's so much flexibility, right? Because then you can pivot to something fast. You can go like, you can play slow play, right? Because you have information. You can like go aggressive because you have like movement, a bunch of flashes that take space aggressively. Plus you have mollies, damaging utility that can just kill on a whim. It's like really strong. Let me see. Angel One comes back with Navi. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie. That team looks kind of saucy. Oh. Got talking about the Sentinels team. New bundle though, or like new classics. They look good. Yeah, no, it's the reason why. So like, if you've ever played Overwatch, the reason why the game felt really unfun to play is because of that like graph. Right? Plug and play some of the worst hated heroes in the game. Like Hanzo, Sombra, and then some of the worst agents like Doom. Because Doom has the opposite problem of what these heroes have. Moira is another good example where it's low skill variance, low risk, high value. And that is unfun to play against. And this was something I was hoping, this is something, thankfully, that Marvel Rivals hasn't done yet. They haven't introduced characters that fall under this category. Like, you incur some level of risk by doing your plays as any character in the game. There is skill variance, like, you can tell if you're a good, like, main of that character. And then the value you get makes sense. Like, you get good expected value when you, like, make those risky plays. The only example that I can think of that is really bad is Hawkeye. But he falls under this, like, Hanzo-esque, like, idea because he honestly, he does have low skill variance, low risk, and high value. They're nerfing Hawkeye? Oh, yeah, Hawkeye for sure. And then, yeah, thankfully they're nerfing him because you being able to sit right here and kill 1, 2, 3, it feels really bad. Like, when a good Hawkeye is, like, moving around, just hitting headies, that feels like I'm getting skill checked. I'm getting heat checked right now. Okay, this guy can hit his shots. Okay, my bad. I wasn't familiar with your game type timing. But it's the ones that stand still and just shoot arrows and like get kills. That's like the part of the game that like is not fun. But anyway, that's my utility class for today. Any questions, comments, and concerns about any particular utility that I didn't necessarily cover? I think I got through all of them. I didn't talk about ISO because his utility is interesting. Because he has a wall, a vulnerable, and a like, and a line, which is interesting. Because, and like a shield. Jet? I talked about Jet. Jet has 2 movement abilities and a smoke. I haven't talked about ultimates because they need an entirely different... ults are usually win cons. And so I kind of want to talk about that when I get to the macro idea of win con. So we won't be talking about ults. But yeah, no, Jet is just movement abilities and then a smoke. And so if you know how to use, like... If you know how to, like, assess if a smoke is good or not, you're kind of in trouble because movement abilities are very hard to gauge if I'm using them well. And so it's like, what was the purpose of it? To entry. If you entried correctly, usually you're good. Or I dodged an ability or what, such and such. You do a lot with movement abilities. So like, as long as the purpose of your button press is intentional and it makes sense, that's like all you need to know. Our bronze is not allowed to use utility. My new take is you can't focus on it. Because I think that it's impossible. Like, your focus should still be mechanical and skill, right? If we go back to the... Hold on, let me clear my plate. Like, if we talk about the 3 bar graphs, it's like mechanics, utility, and macro. And because, like, if you're low in skill in one of these, no matter how good you are at these skills, you'll be stuck at, like, this rank. And it's like in any of these cases, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily going to be mechanics. But because these are bottlenecks, I'm actually about to loosen the util requirement, you know? So the reason why me and other coaches promoted you to not use utility is to focus on mechanical skill, which is usually a lower rated problem. That if we learn it quickly, it allows us to play at a higher skill level while then practicing our util. And so if you can simply give me purpose with your utility, I'm down for you to use it. If you give like simple like there's no like, you're not overly reliant on util, I'm chill for you to use it. Did we do mollies? Yes. Macro is your lowest one? Yeah. You struggle Makarui, which is why we talked with you about positioning. We did do mollies. If you wanted a brief refresher for mollies, it's where it does 2 purposes, right? It either flushes out the enemy or it separates them. And so if it does one of these 2 things, it's a good molly. Because I don't want you to think about molly as a stall tool. It is a stall tool, but I don't want you to think about it that way. Because that is literally a stop sign. You are making a stop sign when you throw out a molly. I know there's a little bit here, but don't look at it. It's fine. But you do actually stop when a molly hits the field, right? Like, you're not going to run through this unless you're, like, actually insane. But yeah, that's like the only, that's how you identify whether or not it's a good molly or not. Did it like separate the team or did it flush people out? Unless movement. Again, yeah, movement counters this, but that would cause like separation, right? So if like you have movement and you come out of this and you're separated, it's still a good molly, right? I also run through mollies, or I did when I was mindlessly grinding. I would just run through a molly, not even thinking. I would die, be like, oh, oops, my bad. I didn't hear it. Mulligan, I didn't hear it. Oopsie. Because I felt pressure to come out with my team, and I'm just bad. I've definitely done that before. Okay, anything else? I do have 30 minutes to do things. I could check out the new agent. Am I still on my league grind? I'm on my TFT grind, and then I'll move to league. I learned that learning 2 games at once is really hard. And hard to commit to, so I'm committing to TFT for now. Currently Plat 1. I'd say if I hit Masters, I'll consider myself eligible to teach. And then I'll move on. Rivals? I thought about Rivals, but then, like, I would play Rivals. And if you've ever played Overwatch with me, which I don't think many people have, I think that is a select few individuals who have played Overwatch with me. It comes under the same problem where I get mad really, really easily. I'm talking like absurdly upset. You watch me play Overwatch? Yeah, big mistake. Learning how to get good at Overwatch. Let me tell you, actually, I didn't learn how to get good at Overwatch. I just kind of did what many people said to do, which is just like play more. I got hit with that thing, and I ended like Diamond, which is not great, of course. Diamond's not good. When I came back as a plat in a different role. But this play more, it was just like sink more hours, play more, and it's like I'll never catch up to the top if I just play more, yeah? And so eventually I just gave up because it's just like no matter how much I play, I'm not cracking top 500. I'm not getting better. Like I could feel myself not getting better. Like, oh my god, I wish I had an old clip of me playing Ana where like I would just miss because I didn't know what aim training was back then when I first started playing Overwatch. And so I would just miss all my shots. And I wouldn't even like have a chance to get better. Like throughout sessions, I would just keep sucking. And then when Brig came out, it's like, oh, finally, a hero that I can play. And I climbed a diamond with Brig when she was busted. But remove that hero from my pull list or make Brig bad and I'm trash. Oh, I do play Rivals. I play Rivals for fun. Whenever people hit me up. I've rarely played that game by myself. There were 2 characters. Yeah. I mean, they got me. So I was a big Sleepy fan. And because I was a Sleepy fan, that meant I had to play Ana. And that also, like, kind of translated to Brig. Brig goat meta? Don't remind me. That was like an oversight of the century. And then they're fixed. They didn't even fix the game. They just instituted role lock, and that really, they made the game a mess again. Because the game was boring. So like the problem was the game was boring because 3 tanks versus 3 healers is boring. Like it was boring, right? And we removed a role from the game. So it's like, okay, how do we solve this? Well, the first thing we should do is like nerf Brig. That would make sense. No, instead, we introduced role lock, which didn't fix the issue. It just made queue times worse. Which is an awesome system. We love that. It's like, why? And then you add a priority pass. Like, you could pay money to get faster games. Which showed that they could just get you faster games. Which then beat the purpose of... Oh, I do remember when I could play a whole match of Dota before I got into a match of Overwatch. Unironically, I do remember that time because I played during that time. I literally would queue a match of Overwatch and then speedrun Minecraft. And it's like, by the time I was finished with the run, I would pop a queue. And it's like, no way, dude. It was so egregious. I solo queued though, so like, would it have been worse with a duo? Maybe, maybe not. But I did solo queue a lot. Like, in like auto, I solo queue in a lot of my games actually. Now that I think about it, I play a lot of games solo, huh? And except for like solo player games. Guess I'm just a glutton for that punishment. But yeah, no, it was awful. I signed up to play Overwatch, not speedrun Minecraft, but there we were. There. We'll make that an X. I was so sad. Anyway, let me boot up the game. I'm sure it would be nice if I like showed some of the changes. I couldn't watch XQC. Never got into him. Do you get to try? I think you have to try it in a custom game, but yeah. The only like memory I have of XQC is him on the Dallas Fuel when he like grinded to be a professional Overwatch player, and then when he lost to Moist Critical to a Scholar's mate. Thank you for the Ascendant, buddy. Really didn't. I don't care. It's not rewarding. I think this game is actually kind of bad. They're trying to like cheat you with skins, I think. So yeah, they just changed this to expressions, which thank you for the expression. Big preach. Okay, so this is the first thing they changed. Expressions, the store, they didn't add anything different. Nothing seems correct. Here's their boy, new agent. You can recruit him for money. I don't have the money. I'm not gonna buy it. I play the game. Here's the premiere back. 5 placements. Welcome to the new battle pass. I'm sure there's cool stuff in here. The Celestia one looks good. Little nice something for the battle pass enjoyers. The blades look sick. Anyway. I forgot the phone. Wait, really? Oh, you're right. The flex. Got it. Oh, oopsie. Oh. Uh-oh. No. Where's my sprays? No. EG. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Please. Thank you. So, flex. I don't know what this does. Be cool if it, like, allowed you to communicate with your team from across the map. Oh, I couldn't go in the range. True. And I will turn the volume up eventually. I guess we can do a couple of things with Trejo here, yeah? We can just pick that agent. Oh, Tejo. Not I keep calling him Trejo for some reason. Anyway. Which is pretty sick. So this is what it is. It's pretty cool. Get a little cell phone. Get the call. Oh, yeah, you can switch between, like, your agent, your profile pic. I'm an EG fanboy for life. Go. And then it gives your, like, your tag, which is Twistin. Rest in peace. Does it do any sound effect? We shall listen. I mean, it is a button. Yeah, if there was stats, that'd be good. Oh, inspect. You turn off the phone, turn it back on. True. I'm sure there's stuff in here. I'm not going to read them. Nice try. Is this door open yet? No. You're just locked in here. Criminal. What the? Ooh, whoa, whoa. Like lifetime kills? They're gonna change this, I think, yeah? Or is it for the new season? Anyway, so here are the abilities. Here's the drone.
Locating targets.
Last a long time. Throw it up. Recons. Think it'd be easier if I just showed it here.
Drone going out.
I'm not a lore enjoyer. You're completely right. And notice how that scans and suppresses all of them. That's awesome. Is it also stealth? I think so, but I wouldn't be able to tell.
Drone going
You would
out.
need like another person. Anyway. Stun. Can throw it
Grenade is
normally.
live.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so it's like the closer the stun is, it lasts longer. So it's 2 to 4 seconds, depending on how close you land. I could read the description. Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Light munition.
Yeah, so the closer you are to the center, the longer the stun will last. Notice how, like, the further away they got from the bot. Here is your...
All missiles away.
There's your missiles. Bonk, 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 bonk. Does damage. All fire makes it bounce. True. You're right.
Grenade is live.
Jiakazing. Incorrect.
Light munition.
Jiakazing. There you go. Probably make more sense if I did that. Bonk. Anyway, there you go. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I stopped playing card games in general. Found out I wasn't having fun, which is a tragedy. But yeah, these are ground targeted, and they deal damage. Do they stack, though? That's the question. Will you die faster if I land both? Oh, that's not okay. By the way, this ability can just straight up break KJ ult.
All missiles away.
If that works like that. Bunk, bunk, bunk. Yeah, wait, hold on. How many normal bounces do you get?
All missiles away.
1, 2, 3. Yep, they stack. Yeah, what? What? That's so dumb. I thought they wouldn't. I personally was like, you know what? Riot's case with mollies is that if the molly is on the ground and another molly lands on top of that molly, it overrides the previous molly because another molly is on the ground. This is clearly on the ground.
Missiles away.
But it's not a molly. It's like a KO grenade. That's even better. Dude. Oh, and it's free, by the way. And it recharges. A rechargeable ability. You get it every 40 seconds. Mind you. Just in case you didn't like it already.
All missiles away.
40-second cooldown. Yeah, it recharges. Yep. You think that's crazy? Anyway, so this ability is vector targeted, which I love. I love vector targeting.
This is how
and then, so everything is about to die. Watch out. Anyway, that does damage. So it's a cool ability. Yeah, that's why people are pairing it with the breach. You just breach ult, and then this thing happens on like a line.
This is how it ends. The ultimate is ready.
This combos well with a lot of ults. That combos with like a lot of utility. This agent also combos really well with Fade. Like, yeah, this combos super simply with Fade. Like, pretty much the entire kit was built around, like... Not built around comboing with Fade. I know why this agent was designed, but, like... It's so strong right now. It's so strong, dude. The Seize nade is strong. The ult is strong with the Fade combos. People were just going to die. And, because you can place this anywhere, note, let's just say you're entering on Ascent and you want to just hit, this also hits like lower and higher because it hits in a cone, right? I wish I could show.
Launching missile.
Yeah, because it hits in a cone. Or it hits in a sphere. Now you might notice that and be like, well, that's weird. It hits in a sphere.
Launching missile.
Indeed it does. So it would hit me if I was up there. As a matter of fact, allow me to demonstrate. I don't know if this will damage me.
Missile deployed.
Note that was above me. The enemies don't know where you are. Yeah. But these land, these go out. Look how these go. Here, I'm actually gonna shoot these.
All missiles away.
Those are fast, by the way. More and more unhappy. No, they unironically released this agent in the state. Test our walls. What? What's that? Oh, like in the wall. Like, can they go into a wall? Let's see.
Missile deployed.
No, it seems like it does have to go on a bottom surface. If that's what you were meaning. But like, because it's in a circle, like, look at this.
Launching missile.
I put it on top of this box. I think I put it on top of this box. Where did that go? Hello?
Missile deployed.
Oh my. What? Bro, I sent that under the map. That landed, I put that right there. That went down here. And right here. Huh? That doesn't seem right. Like the other side of the wall? Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. Then yeah, I tried that. Because it's fast, right? So it's like, or whoopsie, wrong ability. Like it's super fast, right? Like
all missiles away.
Quick. Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to.
All missiles away.
Yeah. So they'll, like, let's say I'm actually over here, and I want this to go outside.
All missiles away.
Fast as humanly possible. It goes around too. It's so, yeah, it's also very far range for something that's insta targetable, by the way. Like, surely this is not healthy. This is not in a healthy game state. There's no way. Postplan is crazy. No, the takes are crazy. Why save this for, like... But that's also the crazy part. You can play this to take the site, and then by the time it, like, matters to do postplant, you just put this right on top of the bomb.
Missiles away.
GG. GG. You do have to...
Missile
and you don't have to use both. You can just use one. I don't think you should use one. You should always use two. I feel like if you're using, like... If you're using just one of these, I feel like you're not getting the full value, but hey. Be ballin', I don't care. Do what you gotta do, bro. But this agent is really, really, really strong. Can I use it without? I'd have to go in a custom. Pray that I don't have the agent though. Will that matter? Can I just change into the agent anyway? Go fracture. Allow cheats. Because I can swap to them. I just can't lock it in the pick screen. No clue. Yeah, I can't lock it.
I'll fight.
I think I can swap to it though.
I'll fight everybody.
You don't think so? Is that list only agents you own? I mean, worth the shot, right? I was thinking swap. Like, surely the cheat code, if you're able to swap your agents, you can just swap it.
Should I shoot them in the face or stab them in the back?
God, you're not giving it to
I'll
me.
decide later.
My
Bonk,
ult's
bonk,
ready.
Bonk, 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 bonk. Swap. Feel like it should be around here. Yeah, no, you can't. Nope, you can't. All good. We learn. Live and learn. You can't swap. You have to own the agent. That's annoying. Darn. Oh, they're all on playing? Nice. Anyway, that's pretty much... Alright, for science... If I get asked to play, I'll play. But I do want to end sooner rather than later. So, for the time being... I believe somebody requested a... Oh, do I need one more? Don't think we can queue, right? I'm gonna send in 3, bucko. If there's a 5 stack going on, then maybe we'll toss the invite out. But I feel like somebody requested a Lotus mod. So we'll do a quick little review. Let's see if this man's played Lotus. All right, are you happy with 10s? Can we settle for 10s? Because he is not Zekin. But he is a pro player. Yeah, Lotus is in. All right. Music down. You got me for 15 minutes to do a quick review.
Do you think they'll bring back Pro? They probably will. They'll probably replace what's the best map in the rotation right now?
Excuse you. Why is this taskbar blasting me right now?
Let me think about
Thank you. The pistol. I'll do I'll do like the first like
Best
4
map in the
attacking rounds and I'll
rotation
move on
right
defense.
now?
You've seen this? Let's go.
Trying to think
Good.
about
Now you're gonna learn how to like.
Oh, ultimate map pool. They replaced
Learn this.
Blitz.
Oh wow, super topical. They were replacing map pools. Let's go.
They'll probably do that.
Okay. Notice that. Okay, so we'll talk about his buy real quick. Notice that like it is Sheriff. No util. He's like, this is one of the only agents that is allowed to do that. Look at him. He's first contact because he has a raise. You technically are going to be this raise in most situations where you're not first contact, but you still should be fast. Right? He's first contact, runs up, get wrecked, get outplayed. Nerd. He said, I'm going out. He said, bet I'm coming out with him. Okay, so you would be the raise in this scenario if you're a single duelist. If you are double, you're in his position. Yep. Comes out the smoke, takes a bad shot, has to dash away. Thank you, Jet. It's actually a really bad fight to take. The Omen dies because, you know, reposition tools. Then he actually repositions to a stronger one, right? Low HP, unexpected position, has angle advantage on this guy, and can swing out to this guy. Can turn it up a little bit more. This guy's gotten flashed twice. Yep. Unexpected.
Oh, one back pillar. One back pillar.
Came out. Sure.
He's sealing off my body. He's full.
And they lose. Unfortunate. Let's see. They call... He says Marshall Force. What's up? Okay. They fight for space. You can't really fight back. That's a one-way. They can't do that one-way anymore. So I don't know what teams are going to do there. That's like the biggest question I have as a controller. I will be looking
He's on top.
for...
He's on top.
It'll probably be more heavy committal. Like you have to use more resources.
I'm in for you right now.
That one way gone? Yeah, that one way's gone because it's a small ledge. Which is unfortunate. This one way isn't for C long. This one way's still up, but that's because it has like a wide base. Think of it like this in like our planner. Just assume this is like a plane. And if it's like a decently sized plane that a normal smoke indicator can fit on, or a normal smoke can fit on for most agents, then it's usable. The one on Ascent on the lights. Ascent on the lights. Yes, those do not one way anymore. But you can still one way main and
I hit
stuff
Reyna
like
once.
that.
I'm just not.
Yeah, notice that like he only bought the Marshall to duo with his boy. Like if your boy buys like a sheriff on the same side, you do like double body. It's a good combo. Usually can catch people all like super off guard.
Oh my god.
That is dropping somebody quickly. That's something I wouldn't like hard call that all the time. It's a super niche strategy that only kind of works on long sightline maps like Lotus, like Haven. Like you want to not have to go for headshots like at long range to secure kills, and these like do. If you coordinate and just shoot like an individual on the body, both of you, that's you're golden. That's like a small strategy. But let's see. So like the big thing for you is the positioning. He's evaluated that like A is weaker than C, and I would agree, right? I would not be positioning to go C at all. This would not make any sense to me because they've shown to be really strong. Like they can take B main quickly. They fight for C very well. I'm just going, but note he immediately takes space because he's the initial space taker in this scenario. Like it's not the raise because the raise double satchel out if you're too slow.
One-sided.
Or his raise shouldn't have been, but his raise did. Oh well. Swings out. This is a hard fight to win. Not gonna lie to you. Loses it, but I'm down. It's actually not a bad fight because this guy was taking aggro, but this dude did not care and just shot him anyway. Get wrecked.
He's out in the open.
Okay, and they lose. Yep.
Peek this angle.
But notice how it's the same kind of buy. They're just coordinated their buy together. Kinda. He likes the Marshall. I think you should like the Marshall too. But not to the same degree that he does yet. That'd be a little crazy. If you just straight up like blasted Marshalls.
Line.
But right now we're on economic disadvantage. We don't really want to take like normal fights. And so like any of these fights are favorable and any like other fight is bad. So we're just kind of chilling here. Like Outlaw, I think Outlaw is a little too niche.
Yeah, there's
And you
there's
have
two
to
here.
be good at winning early. So like if you're good at winning like first rounds, then yeah, I would start buying the Outlaw a lot more. But if you can't win pistols, it's hard. It's like an economic it's very like it's a win more gun. Right? If you pick the Outlaw up, you want to win more. It's like you're kind of stomping. So like people who are like really good with the Outlaw, they'll have a lot of these like 13 like 5 games where for the majority of their defense they're just crushing them, right? Because they can just one top body for most of the game. There's some rounds where you can't, but like you have to have an economic advantage for that to see like good value to like scale past the Marshall and scale past the Outlaw. So it's very situational, but I'm down that you use it.
So hard like that.
You
Oh
should
my
like
God, we
snipers
keep
if you're a
getting
jet player.
Running.
Okay, last round we'll move to defense, but you'll notice how a lot of these like are double, like they're running double duelist because there's a lot of duelist players in existence. Don't believe me? Check your boards. There's a ton of you guys. It's a fun role to play. I get it. So you know you're gonna find more duelist players on average than you will like any other role.
Grass. No,
But just look how close he
fuck?
is. Okay, he DC'd. Unfortunate.
oh my god.
Like that dude should actually go Giga Infinite.
Looking CT now.
But do you notice like how on the hip he was when he was scaling? Like when you scale, you were like a little too far behind, right? When you weren't leading the charge. But his positioning is like I'm at the front, I'm at the forefront of this. And now let's talk about his positioning. So we're gonna find a good position. So theoretically, what this guy is going to do is he's gonna pick one of 3 positions. He's gonna either A, come here and hold CT with his gecko. He is going to he's gonna do that, or he's gonna join up with his team, push waterfall. And those are literally the 2 plays I think he'll do, or his gecko will push up and he'll push up with the gecko. Those are like the 3 options that he has. And I don't think he'll pick like he's likely to pick this one because this is the strongest play currently available to him. And the other 2 revolve around like these guys pushing and this guy pushing. And like they don't want to, they want to hold, so he's gonna come to this position. Or he should.
I think he lagged out. I think that's what happened.
Yep. He comes here, holds here. But then his raise takes over. Don't need 3 people staring at this smoke, right? It's a little too much, right? So what he's gonna do is he's gonna join his Clove. Clove will take a fight. He swings off his Clove. He gets a kill. He dash away. Even if he doesn't dash away, like he can updraft or smoke himself up.
Put a judge here. Spawn. Don't be spawned.
But notice he comes back this way because they stop looking.
Spawn Omen. Omen spawn.
Yeah, do that.
Wide short. Not 2. Raise, one, 2, raise.
I'm giving all three. I'm
Yep.
smoking close.
Raise one, raise one. Last 2.
That gun fight technique is a little wonky. This boy hit the jets. He said, "See you."
In the far back.
Nope.
Wait, he's playing for Sats.
Yeah.
They didn't save. He just committed a fight, which is kind of bad.
That's right.
But he actually survived too, which is crazy. Anyway, so that's his attack. Pretty hard to learn from in just 5 rounds, but like, you feel me? Everything he kind of did position-wise made sense because he's evaluating how the enemy team is playing. So we will skip to defense. A little too far. First 5 rounds, of course. What happened here? Let's see. His positioning. Let's see it. So he is going to contest A main.
Yeah, I'll chill.
He does it with no... He does it with just dash. So he's here.
Right now.
One C.
He's going to tuck to make sure that all of his fights are ahead of him. It is likely that this guy could have bought blind. This guy definitely has blind. And if they blind out here, he can shoot. Tuck. Prime his dash. He can make a bunch of plays. But if he gets flash here, he's probably just dead. I'm not going to lie. This Omen has the opportunity to outplay the mess out of 10s.
He's still there. It's just
One
go
there.
to there.
Nate
That I
C.
see. It's just go to that I see.
Out to you, out to you.
Let's see. Actually, no.
front door.
Yeah, he's aware of a potential lurker, so he wants to get an angle on him. But unfortunately, this dude crossed. This guy hit him with the meanest crossover of all time. 1 tap. Welcome to Radiant, son.
Oh shit, he's on the left already.
Anyway, his team probably doesn't have him because, you
Oh.
know, that's tough. Actually, we knew that they didn't have him. But notice there's no force up here. We didn't get a plant down, so it's not worth it to force up money unless you're someone interesting. But yeah, same kind of idea. He walks this way. Tries to dodge the flash. He dodges the timing. The dude's going to bait for him. Unfortunately, this guy is literally a freak and just jumps over the box and I think spots 10s in this position. And yeah, so they clear him. Oopsie. Yeah. Outplayed yet again. Welcome to round 3. Is he still going to contest A main? Yes. Jet has a really good time contesting A main
Not there.
because he does this because it allows him to fast rotate. Like on average, he can either get a good fight on this line or he can just fast rotate whenever they're not here. And that allows him to play more of the map.
Maybe
Same
get
kind of
call from
idea.
I'm detained.
Well, he is mega fine. Repositions because he got spotted.
Careful, C.
Out C.
Yep, they go C.
Where's
Well,
Sasha?
welcome to Lotus. You should be using those like doors all the time. If you're not abusing a door, then you're not playing the map. Yep, kills because that dude got a little greedy. Isolates an angle. That's what the smoke is. Notice how these smokes, it isolates an angle, right? And this one keeps him safe from the flash. Allows him to fight close range.
One enemy remaining.
The dash to reposition. Life's chilling.
Oh, you
Oh, got baited.
went
Good walk.
left. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Anyway, where does he go now? You bet it. We're back to A. But this time it's a little different because we don't have the, like, this is readable now because we've done it 3 rounds in a row. We're just going to chillax. We're still at A, but we're just chilling. We're going to let the enemy take their initial space. If they want to come, they can, but I'm willing to fight them if they come through this. But I'm not willing to go out and die right now because we have information because they're giving us information because they take this space. But he pops dash. Means he can get out. Almost. Oh, thank God. I mean, that's the power of dash. You're allowed to walk out of a smoke, dash back, and not die. Movement abilities in this game are silly. But it's because of like Jet's instantaneous movement that this agent particular can do it. Don't think any other agent can do that. I think Raze would have just died.
110
Yeah, hits him 110.
on Raze.
Unfortunate. But let's think about where he can test this round. So he has an op. He's probably going A. But notice how he's not going C, how he's not going B, but he's starting A in a position that allows him to rotate. Like, you would think, oh, I'm playing duelist. I want to play fast rotate. I'll play B. But it's just like, I also have to contest like early space as well. On this map in particular, like 3 site maps, you can't just start. You actually want to start on the extremity in a position where you can rotate fast. That's like the bread and butter for positioning on this.
I think it
So he has up, and look at him. He's going to take a long sight line, but he can play fast rotate. I personally think the second he gets on the sight line, he stays here. If you rotate with the op, you're just losing, which is tragedy. So he's just chilling here.
I'll pick up B.
Yep, he calls. He's taking B. And they're 3 strong C. Like, if this squad loses C, not his fault. I'm holding B with an op. Not my fault. You're all contesting C space. If you lose, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I'm tapping door. Walk up.
Hoops. My ult's ready.
Does a slight reposition.
Keep it across. Keep it across the seat.
One A. He's running away.
I miss you.
Breaks it. ISO's a fight.
I have spike on. Yep.
Yeah, he's actually sick for breaking that wingman and then like dashing back sight. Because this was a plant, right? That like, if the bomb goes down here, they just play this post plant and they win. Right? Like this line is super impossible to play. Oh, this Omen is oh my god, this Omen's so good. He actually got back here after this TP and he walked this way. That's so tough.
Flanked. Oh.
That's so tough. Yeah, no, that's hard to win too. What is this? This is 17, so this will be the 5th. Then he has knives. When you have knives, you just buy full shield. And you don't buy anything else. You're just chilling. This is your econ. This is your econ advantage. And we'll see actually how does he use the knives compared to you. Because remember you took your time and like, really did wait. What in tarnation? What? Someone make that make sense. Because what's the purpose of a lockdown? Alright, it's like it's either to catch people in it or like force people to take bad fights because they're going to be stuck in an ult. So what I think this is meant to do, what I think is going through their mind is that, okay, they're putting a lot of pressure towards A. Because they're putting a lot of pressure towards A and I don't want them flank, I'm going to pop ult so that they don't flank, right? It's very unlikely we'll flank from this position. This is really hard to flank from. And then we can kind of just all slam towards C. Okay, well, now that the fact that they're just re-clearing A main, now it doesn't make sense to me.
50.
Spike down A.
Because it didn't stop the play that was meant to happen, right? Like, if this was meant to stop rotators, this this Clove is in their spawn. So that didn't stop that.
From B.
Spike planted.
This is awkward. Our boys don't have him. Oh my god, our boys we won this round. Wow, go figure. We waste KJ ult right here, cover all this space, and we lose. It's a cool idea. Cool idea. Very bad in practice, it seems.
Is he gonna play Resident Evil again?
We'll give him one more round. See what he's got. Same op. Let's see him op. Notice how he doesn't move, by the way. He's not... This is something that I notice with a lot of oppers. Notice how wide he's holding, and notice how he doesn't move. That's like the big thing when you're opping. So he's literally just playing human benchmark with anyone who peeks right here. Because it's very unlikely that they'll peek him. But he'll unpeek and just like... I think this guy like rotates too quickly, especially in this game. Like in this particular game, I would not rotate this quickly. Especially when I have an op.
No, come to you, chat. No.
I have Ingores.
All three.
Multiple enemies C.
Again.
Boom.
Like a picture.
Yep, he's just holding this
I'm
angle.
I'm just the insurance.
One enemy
Yup.
remaining.
My last one was there. 40 flank.
Does he have spike?
I think so.
There's a gecko. Yeah, has it.
There's one in my screen.
Yeah, then he fast rotates because this is a gamble.
Alright, close here. He opened the door.
30 seconds left.
He holds tree. If his raise is good at the game, they won't give him a timing.
I think he's close right on me. I don't think he's in tree.
That was a read. Raise covered his body. Now he's chilling. He's just playing human benchmark.
Yeah, wait, what?
Quick bomb.
I'm not even.
He actually had the read. All right. Anyway, so that's how he plays, right? Pretty much like the 10 special. Yeah, this wasn't like a full VOD review, but like you can see some of like the ideas come into motion. Radiant is a weird place. You come to learn. But when they position with purpose. Like every part of his positioning made sense in accordance to what he wanted to do with the round. So yeah, as long as you have that level of like, he can do it automatically because he's done this part that you've done already with CS:GO, and it translated to Valorant really easily. Plus he has like a huge, like he has coaching staff. He has a bunch of them on payroll. So yeah, just keep conscious of like those ideas and you'll be good. We'll get better. But yeah, that does it for today. Wanted to thank you all so much for watching. If indeed you still are. Want to wish you all good luck on the climb. And I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.